Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
My hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself. Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this foul, strange and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I, with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love, may sweep to my revenge.
'Tis given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. So the whole era of Denmark is by a forged process of my death, rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, mine uncle!
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, won to his shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air, brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed Lebanon in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man, that, swift as quicksilver, it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body. With a sudden vigor it doth possess and curd like eager droppings into milk and thin and wholesome blood. Thus was I, sleeping, by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin, unhoused, disappointed, unannulled, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh horrible, most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou purest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. Fare thee well, adieu. Hamlet, remember me.
Remember thee, I, thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in the distracted globe. Remember thee, yea, from the table of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, and thy commandment all alone shall live, within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Yes, by heaven, O most pernicious woman, O villain, smiling, damned villain. How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
Alas, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what?
My lord, as I was sewing in my chamber, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unabraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport as if he had been loosed out of hell, to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such a perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last, a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk, and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their help, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This must be known.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? What it should be, more than his father's death, that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both that, being of so young days brought up with him, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from the occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
For the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance. We both obey. I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him. Ah, amen.
My good liege, I do think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death, and our hasty marriage.
I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, call I it. For to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad?
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity. Mad, let us grant him then. And now remains, that we find out the cause of this effect. I have a daughter, have whilst she is mine, who, in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter showed me, and more above hath his solicitings, as they fell out by time, by means and place, all given to mine ear.
But how hath she received his love?
To my young mistress, thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy sphere. This must not be. And then I precepts gave her, that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, and by this declination into the madness wherein now he raves.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be, very likely.
Hath there been such a time, I'd fain known that I have positively said 'tis so, when it proved otherwise.
Not that I know. How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks for hours, here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras then. Mark the encounter. If he love her not, and he not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
My honored lord, my most dear lord.
My excellent good friends, how dost thou, Guildenstern? Ah, Rosencrantz, good lads, how do ye both?
As the indifferent children of the earth, happy in that we are not over happy on fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe?
Neither, my lord.
What make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything, but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there is a kind of confession in your looks, which your modesties have not craft enough to cover. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me, but let me conjure you, by the rights of our fellowship, by the constancy of our youth, be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no.
What say you? My lord, we were sent for.
Pause. I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen molt no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all customs of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason! How infinite in faculties! In form and moving, how express and admirable! In action, how like an angel! In apprehension, how like a god! The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, no, nor woman either, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Gentlemen, You are welcome to Elsinore. You are welcome. But my uncle father and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad north-northwest, when the wind is southerly. I know a hawk from a handsaw.